Number 1. Negative self-beliefs. You carry a voice that speaks before you do. I'm not good enough. I'm too much. I'm the problem. These thoughts arrive so automatically, they start to feel like facts rather than interpretations. They're internalized messages, conclusions a child's mind once drew while trying to make sense of chaos or harm. When their environment fails them, children absorb that failure into their identity, because believing I'm unlovable feels safer than believing the people who should love me cannot. Psychologists call these core beliefs foundational assumptions that operate beneath conscious awareness. Because they were created in childhood, they carry a child's logic: absolute, unquestioning, merciless. But a belief formed in survival can be examined in safety. That voice isn't truth speaking. It's an old alarm system that never learned to turn off. Number 2. Impaired identity formation. Who are you when no one's watching, when no one needs anything from you? For many survivors, the answer feels slippery. Identity becomes a performance, calibrated to whoever's in the room. You're excellent at becoming whoever keeps the peace. But underneath, there's a haunting absence. Identity forms in the context of secure attachment. A child needs to be seen, to have their authentic self reflected back with love. But when childhood is defined by volatility or by the need to stay invisible, you learn to read the room before you learn to read yourself. The ache isn't about lacking a self. It's about never having had the safety to discover one. Number 3. Chronic shame and guilt. Shame hums beneath everything, the feeling that you're fundamentally flawed. Not guilty for something you did, but guilty for something you are. When harm comes from the people meant to protect you, a child's mind decides that something about their existence must have deserved it. This often shows up as perfectionism or self-sabotage. Vulnerability becomes terrifying because it means exposing the part you're convinced is unforgivable. But shame is a liar. It takes wounds inflicted by others and rewrites them as your own defectiveness. Healing asks you to speak the shame aloud, because shame dissolves in empathy. Number 4. People-pleasing and boundary issues. You say yes when you mean no. You've turned self-abandonment into an art form, believing that meeting your own needs is selfish. As a child, maybe your safety depended on reading moods and making yourself easy to love. You learned that your needs complicated things. Psychologists call this fawning, appeasing the threat through compliance. While it once protected you, it now leaves you depleted. Boundaries aren't walls. They're the architecture of sustainable relationships. Learning to say no without apologizing isn't cruelty. It's self-respect. It's believing you deserve to exist in your fullness, not your smallest form. Number 5. Hyper-independence or dependency. You've likely landed at one extreme. Either you'd rather bleed out than ask for help, or you feel helpless without constant reassurance. Both come from the same wound. Hyper-independence says, I can't rely on anyone. Dependency says, I can't survive alone. Both are attachment injuries. When early caregivers were inconsistent or harmful, you didn't learn that you can be both autonomous and connected. Attachment theory explains these as insecure attachment styles, patterns formed when childhood relationships lacked safety. The path forward is slowly learning what secure attachment feels like through relationships that stay even when you're difficult.